I had trouble playing with other kids, and as I grew older, it became harder to relate with other people that are not in my kind.
I'm age 30. I am deaf. I used to have a normal life, but since that accident, I lost my ability to hear. It has been very difficult to attend to job interviews and all the more challenging to land a good job in the industry.
There are two kinds of deafness. One is deaf mute and the other is deaf blind. And these people are unique among individuals with a sensory difference in that they are also linguistic minority. They have long-formed communities whenever they come together in a specific geographic location. For centuries, many people have been advocating for the rights of the deaf, fighting for the many possibilities and abilities of them to be expressed. Hence, deaf education or schools were welcomed by the 19th century, sign language was learned in the 20th century, and up until today, we celebrate these accessibilities in the community.
In the census from the National Statistics Office, as of their latest data, there are at least more than 10,000 people with hearing disability, and the percentage of it belongs to a number of students that depend on public education. It is said that many have applied also for job positions under government offices, but unfortunately failed the civil service examinations. In the Philippines, we have laws for persons with disability, which abide to claiming their rights as citizens. One of the abiding laws is Republic Act Number 7277, or also known as the Magna Carta for Disabled Persons, which claims to not be denied access to opportunities for suitable employment. And another law is BP 344, or Batas Pambansa Pilang 344, or also known as the Accessibility Law for PWD citizens, which expresses the demands to create structural designs that are also suitable for persons with disability and made for their convenience.
There are numerous organizations that vouch for the deaf, but we here have the top 5 affiliated organizations in the Philippines that advocate for the deaf. These are namely the following: Philippine Federation of the Deaf and Philippine Federation of the Deaf Youth Section. The Philippine Federation of the Deaf is the most known organization when vouching for the deaf community, and there are also 15 more active member organizations under them. The Federation ensures equal human, legal, linguistic, and cultural rights by preserving Filipino Sign Language and promotes the deaf identity. The Support and Empower Abused Deaf Children Incorporated is an organization which conduct awareness of human rights and personal safety to deaf children in the community. Next is the Pinoy Deaf Rainbow Incorporated. It was made as a solution for the apparent lack of any LGBT organization for deaf Filipinos, and the said organization simply represents the LGBT deaf community in order to develop empowerment. Lastly, the Benilian Deaf Association. It is an organization empowering deaf Lasallians to be active and in motivating deaf children and adults. And by this, every year, they produce scholars and encourage them for the many possibilities. Also develop a program for the deaf. And one example is their provision of work, such as in Elite, a known ice cream store in malls.
Most programs made for the deaf are under non-government organizations or NGOs because there are now more schools that welcome the idea of advocating for the deaf community. However, one of the given programs by the government is the National Vocational Rehabilitation Center. It provides free training for the deaf, blind, and those with mobility impairment in Metro Manila and its
Always face a deaf person. Make eye contact and keep it while you are talking. Try not to look away or cover your mouth as many deaf people rely on lip reading to help them understand you. Check noise and lighting. Turn off or move away from background noise. Make sure your face is not in shadow and there are no strong lights or sunshine in their eyes. Stand a meter or two away from the deaf person. This is important for hearing aid users, lip readers, and signers. Speak clearly, slowly, and steadily. Don't mumble, shout, or exaggerate. It distorts your lip patterns. Take turns. If there is more than one person in a conversation, take turns to talk. Rephrase if necessary. Trying to say the same thing in a different way might help. Write it down. Don't be afraid to write or draw to help understanding. And arguably, one of the most important points to remember is to keep trying. Lastly, do not treat them as if they are unequal to you. There will be some things that you have that they don't have. However, the gift of hearing does not make them less of a person. Hence,
To reach the following organizations, you may contact them at their landline numbers and social media accounts provided.